Good day. Welcome to Just Another Messenger, your alternative decode of the digital, the political, and the prophetic. I'm your host, Tamara L. Powered by AI, grounded in truth, and fueled by rebellion, we sift through noise to bring you what they won't say out loud. If you're ready to unplug from the matrix and plug into the message, let's begin. Today, we're stepping behind a headline that looks small on the surface, but underneath, it exposes a pressure point the administration hoped no one would touch. A federal court just disqualified one of Donald Trump's most loyal allies from her newly installed role as top federal prosecutor in New Jersey. Her name, Alina Habba. Her mission, reshape the justice system from the inside. Her downfall, a court ruling that struck at the very heart of the administration's plan. This isn't just about one woman losing a position. This is about a blueprint to populate America's legal system with loyalists, and the first major fracture in that strategy. Let's break down exactly what just happened, and why this ruling signals a larger institutional war unfolding behind the scenes. When Alina Habba was appointed as Acting U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, the legal community reacted instantly. Because Habba wasn't a career prosecutor. She wasn't a federal litigator. She wasn't a DOJ insider with the experience normally required for this role. Habba was, and recently had been, a personal attorney for Donald J. Trump. That appointment sent a clear message to every federal attorney watching. Loyalty has become the new qualification. But if that's the game the administration wanted to play, they quickly discovered the courts aren't inclined to play along. The court strikes back, hard. Within months, a federal appeals court stepped in and declared Habba's appointment unlawful. Not questionable. Not improper. Unlawful. Her authority? Invalid. Her decisions? Potentially void. Her installation? A constitutional overreach. The court didn't just push back, it delivered a message. The president can appoint allies, but he cannot break structural safeguards to weaponize the justice system. It was the first legal slap in a much bigger conflict. A conflict over who gets to shape the machinery of American justice. The rule of law, or political loyalty. To understand why this ruling is so explosive, you need to understand what a U.S. attorney actually is. A U.S. attorney has authority over federal prosecutions, grand juries, investigation priorities, sentencing recommendations, civil suits against the government, and sensitive cases involving political figures. In other words, this isn't just a legal job, it's a fulcrum of political power. And installing a loyalist into that seat creates a pipeline. Prosecute enemies, protect allies, control outcomes. That's why the court's ruling matters. Because Habba wasn't just any appointee, she was the test case. The opening move in a broader quiet purge across the federal legal apparatus. And the courts just shut down the first domino. Here's the part they don't want the public to catch. This ruling isn't just about Habba. It's about the exposure of a strategy, one designed to rewire the DOJ from the inside. Think about what's already been in motion. Attempted restructuring of the Department of Justice. Loyalists placed in counsel roles and ethics offices. Pressure on federal prosecutors to pursue political investigations. Efforts to reshape oversight committees. Attempts to weaken internal checks, including inspector generals. Now add this. A failed attempt to install a Trump-aligned, non-prosecutor loyalist into one of the most powerful federal attorney seats in the country. Why New Jersey? Because the district is known for major corruption cases, financial crimes, and large-scale federal prosecutions. It's a strategic hub. The administration didn't choose it randomly. They chose it because it matters. And the court didn't strike her down randomly. They did it because the appointment violated the constitutional framework designed to stop exactly this kind of political capture. This is where the deeper story emerges. The court's ruling signals that not all institutions have been captured. Not all judges are playing the loyalty game. The legal system still has pressure points the administration can't override. And the battle for control is far from over. Habba's appointment wasn't the end. It was the beginning, the pilot project. The test run. And this ruling shows the system is still resisting. But resistance doesn't last forever if people aren't paying attention. Because while the court struck this one down, there are dozens of other appointments happening under the radar. Quiet reshuffles. Strategic placements. Unqualified loyalists installed at the edges of the justice system, where public oversight is weakest. Habba was simply the one who flew too close to the sun. Too visible, too controversial, too politically radioactive. And so she became the first chess piece removed from the board. What we're watching now isn't a scandal. It's a structural conflict. This is the fight for the soul of the American justice system. It's the war over who gets prosecuted, who gets protected, which cases move forward, which cases vanish, and who gets to interpret the law itself. Habba's fall is not the end of the purge. It is the beginning of its exposure. When the courts slap down the first loyalist, it signals something the administration fears: visibility, scrutiny, and the public waking up to the architecture being rebuilt behind the curtain. This ruling won't stop the purge. It will only force it to get quieter, more strategic, and more insulated. Because the war isn't about one appointment. It's about building a justice system where power, not law, becomes the deciding force. And once that system is built, it becomes nearly impossible to dismantle. Habba's removal didn't stop the machine. It revealed it. And now the question is simple. If this is the first domino, how many more were meant to fall? And who is positioning themselves to be next? Before we close, remember this. Power isn't just taken, it's layered, hidden, and quietly installed. And the only defense the public has is awareness. If this breakdown revealed something you weren't supposed to see, don't let it stop here. Share this exposé with someone who still believes the justice system is operating at face value. And stay connected with Just Another Messenger everywhere truth is demanded at Just Another Messenger. For merchandise and digital literature, check us out at JustAnotherMessenger.etsy.com. Continue to support alternative media via CashApp, $JustAnotherMessenger. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, and stay tuned, because the purge isn't over.